With the big winter storm hitting the United States this weekend, we decided it was time that we shore up a little bit on some of our insulation on some of our windows. We got this window insulation kit so that we can, have a second layer on this window. It's only a single pane, and since we just got the house and we haven't remodeled pretty much any room yet, we haven't swapped out the windows for double paned windows yet. So to start, you have to clean the surface that you're going to be putting the adhesive on. The kit that we got off Amazon. I will put a link in the description below. It comes with the film and the adhesive tape. So we just use some rubbing alcohol to clean off the surface. That way it dries pretty quickly. And then you just apply the double-sided tape onto the surface that you just cleaned. So we're just going to put the whole perimeter down first, and then we'll take it off section by section as we install the film itself. For the bottom strip, we ended up bringing it all the way to the edge of our windowsill because we had these window crank handles that would have been in the way. So here's the strip fully adhered around the perimeter of the window. Once we peel that yellow top layer off, the double-sided tape is actually pretty clear, so you won't see like a big yellow stripe across your window. We weren't 100% sure which direction was going to be the best way based on how the roll was folded up. This roll was 87 by almost 400 inches. We ended up just putting the film across the base of the window and just trimming it with a little bit of excess so we had room to trim and make it, nice and neat after we installed. For a window this big, I definitely recommend having 2 people. I don't know how Josh would have done this with just one person. Probably would have been able to do it, but let's make life easier, not harder. I'm a stickler for always reading the instructions. Even when I'm assembling a piece of furniture that only has 4 screws, I'm still gonna double check the instructions. And then of course I have to relay the very obvious instructions to Josh. So that double-sided tape is actually very sticky. So putting up the film, you've got to be very careful because once you've stuck it on there, it's really hard, if not impossible, to peel it off. So I was really glad that we had excess on the sides because it was a little tight once you start applying it. So I highly recommend making sure you have extra room on the sides so that you don't cut yourself short. Now, once you've got the top up, you basically do the sides and then the bottom. The instructions say to start from left to right, but I don't see why you can't start with the right side and go to the left. So I did. Once we finished one side, we went over to the other side, made sure the film was nice and tight, and then just pressed it down. Once the top and sides were all secured with the double-sided tape, we opted to trim the bottom to make it easier for us to stick the bottom strip on without all the extra slack of the film. Again, having 2 people made this part really easy to make sure that it wasn't sticking down onto the double-sided tape where you didn't want it to be. So the instructions say to use a hairdryer to heat the film to help cinch it up nice and tight, but it was pretty evident quickly that the heat on the hairdryer was not high enough. So we switched to a heat gun on super low. We made sure we weren't focused on any spot and melted the film. and it made it much faster, and you can see here it's nice and tight. And here you are. You can barely see the film. You can't see the tape. And I can already feel the difference in the warmth.